Hello again, this is Mike, and I am the Sports History Collector. Well, when I woke up this morning, I was planning on doing quite a different video than this, but unfortunately, the news came that Brooklyn and Los Angeles Dodger great Carl Erskine has passed away at the age of 97. Please stay tuned till the end, where I'll have a very special story about Carl, told by a very special broadcaster and friend of Carl's. Carl pitched for parts of 12 seasons for the Dodgers and won 20 games in 1953. Carl struck out a record 14 batters in Game 3 of the 1953 World Series. That record would later be broken by Sandy Koufax and then by the current leader, Bob Gibson. Pretty good company. Carl pitched 2 no-hitters, one in 1952 and the other in 1956. In fact, in the modern era, the only Dodger pitcher with more no-hitters is Sandy Koufax. Carl had a great career, but a career is not necessarily the measure of a man. And if you were to ask me last year to name 2 great men that just happened to play baseball, I would have told you Brooks Robinson and Carl Erskine. Now they're both gone. Carl was a pillar of his community, always giving of his time and working with charities, especially the Special Olympics, which he got involved in because of his youngest son, Jimmy. Jimmy was born in 1960 with Down syndrome. In those days, the prognosis was a life of 10 years and a recommendation of putting the child in a group home. Carl and his wife of 76 plus years, Betty, would have none of that and raised Jimmy at home where he could live as normal a life as possible. And live he did. Jimmy led a productive life, participated in the Special Olympics, having a job for many years at the local Applebee's restaurant, and even living on his own just minutes from his parents. Sadly, Jimmy passed away last year at the age of 63, but he had a great life thanks to Carl and Betty Erskine, and I'm betting that Jimmy is the first person to meet Carl at the pearly gates. Thankfully, fans, family, and friends were not the only ones to appreciate Carl's life, as the Baseball Hall of Fame named Carl the recipient of the Buck O'Neil Award last year. For those that don't know, the Buck O'Neil Lifetime Achievement Award is an award presented by the National Baseball Hall of Fame not more than once every 3 years to honor an individual who enhances baseball's positive image on society, who broadens the game's appeal, and whose integrity and dignity are comparable to the namesake of the award. Quite an honor, and one I'm so glad he was able to live to see. Rest in peace, Carl. Many of us will keep your name alive with our collections. Now I'm going to show you some signed Carl Erskine items from my collection, followed by that promised special guest. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you soon.
Just like the wide-winged dove sings a song, sounds like she's singing. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Just like the wide-winged dove sings a song, sounds like she's singing. Ooh, baby, ooh, say ooh. And the days go by like a strand in the wind, in the web that is my own. I begin again. Said to my friend, baby, nothing else mattered. He was no more than a baby then. Well, he seemed broken hearted, something within him. But the moment that I first laid eyes on you, all alone on the edge of 17. Just like the wide-winged dove sings a song, sounds like she's singing. Ooh, baby, ooh, ooh. Just like the wide-winged dove sings a song, sounds like she's singing. Said ooh, baby, ooh, said ooh. Well, I went today, maybe I will go again tomorrow. Yeah, yeah, well, the music there, well, it was hauntingly familiar. When I see you doing what I tried to do for me, with the words on me poetry, voice on me fire, and
my favorite stories has to do with one of my favorite players, a Dodger pitcher by the name of Carl Erskine. It was October 5, and it was 1952. It was the 5th game of the World Series, and I was sitting in the locker room, the Dodgers getting ready to play the Yankees in Yankee Stadium, and I was talking to Carl, and all of a sudden he handed me a telegram and said, "Look at this, Vinny." And I opened it up, and it said, "Congratulations, Carl, to you and Betty on your 5th wedding anniversary." And I said, "Oh, that's great." And then I thought, "Wow, Carl, that's amazing. You're going to be pitching in the 5th game of the World Series on your 5th wedding anniversary." Didn't give it much of a thought until the game started. In the 5th inning, the Yankees scored 5 runs on 5 hits. The game went 11 innings. Erskine went the distance. The Dodgers won the game 6-5. Now, the game started at 2:05 on a Sunday afternoon. The time of game was 3 hours. So if you add 2:05 and 3, you get what the time of day was, 5 minutes after 5. Quite a story. Quite a coincidence. Maybe.